And good morning. Welcome to the Cornbread Man Morning Show. Back with you. Been a 3, 4 days, something like that, holidays. And boy, have I been sick. Me and my wife both have just struggled the last few days. Apologize for the absence. But we're alive and well. We're doing good. We've done some things in the meantime and kept working behind the scenes, but back on the air, be a full schedule this week, and we'll post that online. We got special guests tonight. Looking forward to the Neils being with us here live in the studio, and Christian gospel or Christian country or gospel country or however you want to say that. We'll let them explain it when they get here. And that'll be early this evening, and we'll post some more about that this earlier this morning in the mid morning, we'll say. And we hope everybody had a happy Thanksgiving. I hope that you just had a wonderful time with family. We had a great time for most of it. Then we just had some mix ups. And when I say sick, I don't make it sound like I've got diseases and falling apart. I really think mine was just a medication mix up. Of course, I still somewhat recovering from the fall that I had, but overall, doing great. We got a lot of cool things coming up and going on. And so we're excited, and we just hope that you had a great time. It's a new month. Welcome to December. Happy December. A lot of the country's getting snow. Everybody down here sort of starts, getting that crazy when they start hearing snow, and people start thinking they're going to get a lot of snow as well. And that's not always the case. But people think that because, 300 miles from here, they're getting lots of snow. People think that here we're going to get a lot of it too. So it starts the snow fever. But we did have cold, and it has gotten colder in your area. I hope it's not too bad. I know one of my cousins lives up in Illinois, and he was not looking forward to the continual snowfall that was going to start a few days ago. And best wishes to him. I hope it's not too bad. But a lot of countries in a bitter cold right now, a lot of snow. It was a good Thanksgiving. Got some spent some time with co-host on the the Wolf Nation show, Biscuit Boy Paul and his family. I want to thank them again publicly for just having a great time. Of course, their Ascending Group is sponsoring Wolf Nation, and we appreciate that. And we appreciate Dean and work that he does on the show, and Miss Jen, the cat lady, on her show. And thank you for those that are doing that, and all the sponsors, all the affiliates, all of the, and several reached out. All of the people that have came on with us and will be on with us in the near future and ongoing as we go forward. Good morning to you out there on Podbean. We appreciate the audience there, and we'll be loading up some other shows there. We want to appreciate the fine ladies at the doctor's office who have sent me the snake picture and going to send me some other pictures. And I think for the one, she's that'll be on Apple, the episode, and we'll get that uploaded today to the Apple podcast. But anyway, happy Monday, and have a great kickoff to your Monday if you're going back to work. Most people will. I guess the kiddos are back in school. We'll be dropping them off. My youngest granddaughter, though, she's not feeling well this morning. She got sick early this morning, so pray for her, and we'll all take your prayers. We absolutely will all take your prayers here in and around our home, and we won't turn down any of those. Had a great meeting yesterday. Before we get into some other things here, I was going to say I had a great meeting with Brother Vallis in our church, and you're hopefully going to be seeing him on here pretty soon. We're going to ex-Marine, been sharing the gospel since a very young age, and we hope that we can have him on, and at the very least, we'll get you some information about him to have come at your church. He's now living in my general area, and not too far away, about an hour away. And y'all pray for him. He had some car problems, so somebody hit him, rear-ended him. So they totaled the car, and he's having to wait till things settle out to get his car. So he's had to Uber a little bit. what a ride! Having the closest rental for him is at the airport. So he's had to go from Uber from home to airport to get the rental. That's what happens when you live in the country. It's just not. It's not like you pop in town, pick up the car, and get on the road. There's a process to it. And pray for his wife. She's got to have dental surgery, I think, this morning. and so just some things that's been going on for a long time with her, and insurance finally approved the surgery. So y'all pray for her. Hey, it's the national day. I like to do these. Today is National Pie Day. Pie Day. What's your favorite pie? I'd still have to say for me that it would be it's close to I guess for pies, and I'm not like every pie. I wouldn't say that. I do like the pecan pie a lot. I think that's one of my favorites. But I wouldn't eat it every day. I do like it a lot because I don't eat pie all the time. Like I don't know, it's really usually holidays, and every once in a while for a dinner or something you'll see it, or at a restaurant somebody says, "Hey, our pies of the day are," because I try not to eat sweets, but occasional bite or two of one is a little bit of reward for trying to do good. But coconut pie would be another one, and maybe one other. Not big on chocolate pies and all the different ones you can get into. For me, a coconut pie or something like that, pecan, even apple pie. It's okay. I'm not, yeah. Well, hot apple pie with ice cream. That's a winner chicken dinner. I could go with that, but I wouldn't say that I like all of it or anything like that. It's also National Eat a Red Apple Day. That's a good thing we always heard as kids, eat an apple day, keep the doctor away. I don't know where that came from, but people still say that. I've done variations off of it and had people chuckle. But eat a red apple, not just any apple, not green or anything like that. It's got to be a red apple. That is the national day today. It's also Cyber Monday. I don't know how the online sales have been. I can tell you from the store that I helped do security with that thanks Black Friday was a little off, way off. It was, and it may be financial, but it could be. You've got to wait for the numbers to come out. They said that online shopping, and we know that was increasing. That the online shopping numbers are, probably a big part of that, and it may be. I think also people are struggling, but the numbers were way off. In fact, I heard at the store that I was at, they sent half the front end crew home pretty early because they were just overstaffed. They were ready for it, but and it was still busy. It's not like there wasn't anybody there, but it wasn't like 2 or 3 years ago, and there were online sales then too. So it could just be. It's probably a combination. If I had to guess, a lot more people are shopping online. That is true. It's probably a lot of that. But I think there's probably a lot of people just still struggling right now. And you hear that from a lot of people. So I think probably that was a big part of it. But Cyber Monday is today. Deals are out there. It's a great time to check some of those things that you pay by the month for. Sometimes you can get a great 50% savings on some of those things. And Rumble's offering amazing deals right now on their premium. I mean, like it's almost half off for the year, or they were on Black Friday. I don't know if those sales are extending into today, but that's a big deal. Or you can also find for some of those things lifetime deals. Now, last year, I think it was last year or the year before, I can't remember. Might have been last year. Mammoth Nation, which is one of our affiliates, uh, and please, definitely follow them, and we'll put up our codes and stuff for them. But I became a lifetime member of Mammoth Nation through one of those. And I think I did mine on Black Friday, but I got it half off. And so it was a great savings, a massive savings. Good morning, Watchman. And yeah, I'm popping in early because I may have to pop out early. Uh, just know that it depends on how if I need to get my wife up because I got to take the kiddos to school. So I sometimes pop in a little early. Um, but yeah, those deals were great, and I got that lifetime deal at Mammoth Nation for I can't remember what it was now, but it wasn't like $500 or something like that. I think at the most it was I can't remember it was 150 or 250. I can't remember, but I was a lifetime it was a lifetime deal for me, which is nice. Now I know how much life I got left. Me and my granddaughter were talking yesterday. She was saying, she was talkative. I picked her up from her mom. She's been away for over a week. I let her spend some time up with her mom, for the holiday. We've always tried to do that, but she's older and, school and everything. She don't. It's hard to, I wanted to give her a little extra time and with her family there. So she's been away for about 10 days, about 9 or 10 days. So she's talkative. We're riding home and she's just da 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 da. And so I don't know what brought it up. It's something I know what it was is And by the way, pray for her school, or really, it's not her school, but it is in the school system, the high school. Apparently, one of the girls that she went to school with last year uh, got the flu and died. She's a freshman in high school here. I didn't hear about it. She showed me. I think the funeral is Wednesday. So sad. Just got a flu and couldn't get over it, is what we hear. So I don't, I'm not going to share a name or anything right now, but maybe closer to Wednesday we'll put it out there. But God knows who they are. Pray for that. That's horrible. That's the second time that I know of that Kaylee has had someone she's went to school with this past. She had a transfer in when she was in elementary school that passed. It was very hard on those kids. She got an infection of some kind, and this other girl, and it was very sad, very very sad. I'll never forget how it impacted my granddaughter. That was the hardest thing she had experienced up until her grandmother passed on her mom's side, and that has been hard for her. But anyway, we were talking about. She was talking about living long lives or something, and I said, well, I don't know if I make it, to this certain date or whatever it was. Nobody does. And she said, well, maybe. She said, I'm sure you could make 5 more years till I graduate. That's when she transitioned to graduate in high school. And she said, I think you got 5 more years left in you. I said, well, I hope so. Watchman says he likes the blackberry pie. I don't know that I've ever had it. I've picked them, I've ate them, but I don't. I may have had some once, but I never did really get into the blackberry pie. So not sure on that. But hey, I know that's popular, and that goes way back. I mean, all the old shows. Hey, I remember going as a kid. I'd go to my my mom never was big on going and getting stuff like that. She would bake, but she'd get stuff at the store and stuff. But out on the farm with my uncles and aunts and cousins and stuff, or I did go with some people. I had neighbors. She baked a lot, and we'd go up on the mountain and we would pick blackberries and stuff. I did that a bunch of times. I can remember those hot days out there, just picking them by the bucket load. There's some they knew where to go, had some access to some that were massive. I can remember doing that as not even a teenager yet. I can remember riding with my best friend, and we would go up and pick those things. But it's pretty good. I mean, no, they're not. I'm not saying it's bad. I'm just saying it's not my favorite. So yeah, I don't know. Hey, some birthdays today. I only had a couple I wanted to highlight, and one of those is who was the first one I had? I had a couple really that I only wanted to highlight today, and one of those was Macaulay Culkin is today. He is his birthday, and I saw it last night. Now as an adult, I know he's had some. They really messed that kid up, But who doesn't like some of the kid movies he had? I mean, there was some fun movies there, and good Christmas movies and stuff like that was one of them. And then Charlie Heaton, his birthday's today. And there's really just a couple of more. I think there was one more I wanted to highlight. Where did she go? Let's see if I can still find her. I don't think now. I don't see it, so must not have been that important. I think it was Zoe Kravitz, and a lot of people know. I forget, but it's her birthday today. So if it's your birthday on this day, awesome, awesome, and happy birthday to you. Watchman says, when I was a kid, we went and picked blackberries, and Mom would make cobblers, preserves. Yeah. Hey, thank you, Ernest. Happy late Thanksgiving to you. I want to tell you, and I know it just sounds like I'm beating a drum here, but it has been such a struggle for me over the last 3 weeks. I mean, I have really been hit. That's why you haven't seen me as much. I've been really down. But I did take the time, and I took the time. I was really with my wife and helping her. And it was a couple of days I was wiped out. Like Thanksgiving night, I was good Thanksgiving Day. Thanksgiving night, I got mixed. My medication is all messed up. And a doctor's supposed to fix it. And everything's good. It's just a mix up on some medication that just didn't work with me. And anyway, man, from Thanksgiving night, to tell you how bad it was, I drove home from Paul's, the Biscuit Boy, co-host on Wolf Nation, and I got home. I drove home. My wife was at her sister's, and I slept in the truck with the heat on for 2 hours. And when I got out to walk in the house, I felt like a drunk man. I haven't drank alcohol in decades, but I still remember trying to find my balance. That's what it felt like. I thought, oh Lord, I hope my neighbors aren't watching this. I like to fell down 3 times. I didn't need to fall down again. But I hope you had a great Thanksgiving. I do. On this day, the Vietnam draft lottery began. Think about that. Brother Valos, who was at the church yesterday, he told me that he was a Marine. We went to the Marines, and when he eventually ended up in aviation. I mean, we got some stories we're going to have on. If you like aviation and marine stories and stuff, we're going to have Brother Valos on soon. He's going to share, and it's going to be all themed around his life serving Jesus Christ, and it's a blessing. But he never served on Huey, but he was on different helicopters. I'll wait, let him. He's got some stories. It's amazing. Uh, well, I promise I didn't do that. We'll put that on the screen. I I didn't do that, but boy, I felt like it. I was like, I just felt it as I was leaving his house. Like the only thing I drank there was tea, water, and an energy drink. I was trying a new energy drink because you killed me, man. But I got out of the truck, man. I let rock back, I was like, oh Lord. So I thought if I fall down out here and I can't get up, it's so cold, I'll probably be dead before I could get up, but it was a struggle. But I just went in and slept. But they said I was talking out of my head. Like I said, medication can mess you up. My son looked at me once. I heard him hollering my name and opened my eyes, and he goes, he says, Dad, do you think you need to go to the hospital? And I'm like, no, I ain't going to the hospital. Leave me alone. I want to sleep. And he was helping with his mom and everything. And I just crashed out, man. I mean, I didn't go anywhere all day Friday, Black Friday. I didn't leave the house. And I didn't leave the house Saturday. We didn't do the morning show Saturday. And I messaged him. I was going to try. I just could not get there. And finally ventured out mid-morning just to run down to a drive-through, and my wife wanted something. And then, I got better. And then yesterday, I didn't do a show yesterday morning, which was rare for me. Still recovering. Voice. The main thing was the voice was pretty bad yesterday. My granddaughter says, "You're losing your voice." I thought, this ain't good. I can't talk. But but anyway, Brother Valos said when he got to boot camp that this is how it worked. And I forget what year he went in, but anyway, they were wrapping things up with how much they needed at that time. And they told him they said the first day of boot camp, the first day they walked in, made an announcement. They said, all of you Marines will be going to Vietnam right off the bat, and he wasn't drafted. He went in. So he wanted to serve, but he said, all of you Marines are going to Vietnam. He said the second month, it was a 3-month boot camp. The second month of boot camp, he said they come in and said, some of you Marines will be going to Vietnam. So then you're starting to wonder who, what, when, where. And by the third month, they come in and said, none of you Marines will be going to Vietnam. What a progression there. Amazing. Biscuit Boy didn't feed you some special gummies. I'll have to ask him about that. We have a new show. Of course, we still be going live from Ringgold on Saturday mornings, but Thursday night, we haven't set the time yet. It won't be late. It'll be earlier. The Wolf Nation show will be coming out. He's going to be live in studio, so we'll have to ask him about that on the air Thursday. Sometimes he's watching, so Paul, if you're watching out there, pop in and give us the answer to that. No, he wouldn't do that. But Biscuit Boy, his beautiful home, I think his beautiful family. We had a great time. Their dog Howie, and he likes to be pet, so I did a lot of pet the dog, and we had a great time. But I don't know what it was, man. I could feel it coming on. It's like you're like, uh-oh. When things are fixing to happen, you're like, no, what in the world? Well, there's a lot going on. He knows. There's he would laugh about it too. In fact, we've got the follow-up story. If you saw the clip, I clipped it out. If you saw the clip of us talking about the horses they rode down in the Caribbean, about there's a second part to that story he's going to share. He might share that Thursday. I'm not sure, but funny guy, man. He's had a lot of life experiences. I've got a lot of life experiences. I do, but I just never know what's going to come out of his mouth. It's always some crazy thing, that I'm like, where in the world did you get these stories, man? But he'll start into a story, and I never know if it's a joke or if it's like a combination of truth and a joke or just full on straight up life. And 90% of the time, he's just telling a story that of experience he had, and I believe it's fully 100% true. However, I've always said I don't mind a little story embellishment if the story gets funnier or better, or whatever. I don't care. It doesn't matter to me. Storytellers were always good at that. The history of America is the great storytellers. That's how all the legends and the songs and the were passed down to us. I mean, they didn't write a lot of stuff down. In fact, they couldn't write, and they would pass these great stories down. And you had people that were just great storytellers. Here in the South, it was very well known for people to be really good storytellers. And when you're a kid, sitting at the feet of somebody that's a great storyteller in your family was a great treat, and especially if they had a big laugh and they were just bigger than life. Those things were always cool. Like my dad could tell some really cool stories, and so he was somewhat like that. He liked to laugh and he would tell stories. He was definitely like that. But my grandfather, his dad, was certainly like that. I just loved to sit around and listen to him as he would tell these stories and stuff. And I ain't sure. I think sometimes he embellished some of them. But I didn't care. They were great. Because they became partly his stories, and he just morphed them into whatever he liked to tell them or how to tell them. But he was a funny guy. I mean, that's where I don't know about his dad. I never saw him like be my great grandfather, excuse me. But it seems as though in our family, especially among, and I can see it through all of his brothers and stuff. They're all really good storytellers, and they love to have a good laugh, a good chuckle. Now they could argue, best of them stubborn. I get a lot of my stubbornness from, but not all. My mom was Irish, and man, she could be stubborn. But my dad could definitely dig his heels in too, and so I definitely have traits of both. On this date, Rosa Parks was arrested. Somewhat, controversy, somewhat around that a little bit. I don't want to go deep into it, but things that they've done in the Capitol, even around this, some of the statues and stuff. But in 1913, Ford's assembly line revolution came along. So I used to listen to my grandpa and old man Hot Hamilton and sit and tell stories in front of this old country store Hot owned. Oh man, yeah, that's even better when you have something like that and you have a location you can sit and listen to those. And it really does provoke, I guess, wonder within you, and it provides it helps your imagination. You can, because a good storyteller paints a picture. And even if that's not the way it looked to them, because every time you hear a song, every time you hear a story. By the way, Watchman, I have to just plug this in there. I was thinking yesterday about your story about talking about rat. You said I kill rats. That has killed me ever since I've heard that. That just cracked me up. But a song or a story or whatever, you paint a picture, and that picture and imagery is very strong. Um, yeah, that's why I say there's a lot of controversy to that. And I know how they were done, but that did happen on this date in 1955. So that was one of those things that did happen. So on this day in history, we do see that. So whatever. But but I wanted we still talk about whatever. I don't have a morning shows to me, or we don't. I'll cover a little bit of news, a little bit of sports. By the way, what great sports this weekend! And this this Lane Kiffin, can he not ever leave in a way that's not it's never normal with him. My gosh. And I think in one way he was really trying. I don't think like even he admitted the way he left programs in the past. He didn't want that to happen. And I felt like he was really trying. But the forces behind him, it's like the jilted girlfriend or whatever. He delayed a whole day, really telling the world what he was going to do because he was trying his best to work out the university a way that he could continue to coach these young guys. And by gosh, they just wasn't going to do it. I mean, he sat at the chancellor's home for 2 hours with the athletic director, who seemed like he really got butthurt over this whole thing, my opinion. But and I thought he might stay. I really and I thought he was going to Florida myself. But they throwed a bunch of money at him at LSU. But he said Ole Miss was going to match any amount of money that he wanted. But I think it's just the opportunity. No offense to Ole Miss, but LSU offers a little bit more. I mean, it just does. They've always been a little bit bigger program, whatever. But for him, he said he prayed about it, and he never gave any indication. In fact, I don't even know that he went down there. He sent his family. But long story short, he's going to LSU, and so here he is. He's trying to. First of all, they gave him the ultimatum. You got to tell us by the Egg Bowl. Well, then that stretched out a couple more days. They seem to be okay with it. I mean, what are they going to do? They going to fire the guy? So he stretched it out a couple days, and one extra day because he didn't tell them anything on Friday, and then it's really stretched into Sunday, I guess. But that was really just trying to get things settled. But here's the thing: it was almost like it's like a Jim Jones escape. It's like the senator trying to get out of town, and they've got the planes on the tarmac. And he's telling his coaching staff because the administration, the players, they didn't even let Lane Kiffin go to the players meeting. Like they told him no, stay away. But he had met with them already. But he wanted to go back and he wanted to coach them and all that. But they wouldn't let him go to that. And they told him he couldn't come, and they gave the administration for Ole Miss went after the coaches and said, we want all of you to stay, or who's going to stay. And Lane Kiffin gave them like a 24-hour deadline, like you got, and it came down to this: you better be on the plane as we fly to Baton Rouge. You better be on the plane if you want to be on my staff. Can you imagine? You're like some, talk about defensive coach Pete Golden. He's become the coach. I mean, they just went after him to hold him. And we're going to make you coach. And so imagine you're like, I don't know, linebackers coach, special teams coach or whatever. And they come and you get this call from your coach, and he goes, hey, be at the tarmac at 4 p.m. for the planes. You got to be on that plane. If you want to be on my staff, you got to go. Can you imagine that turmoil for all those coaches and their families? I mean, they got to talk to their wives. They knew it was coming. I'm sure they had maybe around a day where they really knew what was going on, maybe a little more than a day. And they're telling them, we may be going to, it's the coach's life. I get it. We may be going to, we have the opportunity to go to LSU. Coach is going. He wants me on the staff. Well, how long do we have to decide? He said, well, be on the tarmac at 4 p.m. It's the craziest thing. It was like they had state police guarding him. There were 250 fans that showed up that were letting him have it, flipping him off and all kinds of stuff. But it was like you never see this anywhere else. I have never seen anything like this. When it was at Tennessee, I mean, it was bad. I mean, he's telling them he's not leaving. They can see his wife and family packing up inside the house behind him, and it was bad. I mean, it was like a dumpster fire. And his firing at USC, I think it was that was crazy. They left him at the airport. It's always airports for this guy. So, I mean, and I really feel for the guy because I really feel like he struggled with his decision. I think he was really happy at Ole Miss. There's a part of me that says, I know how it is if you've ever had to make a big decision like this, and you've ever had to decide, there's always that moment when you find out just how easily you are replaced. I mean, there's loyalty only goes so far in anything in life, really. And once you say, I think I might be going. If that just there, you already start seeing people pull away from you. They're already hurt. They're already mad. They just like automatically just start looking elsewhere. And I get that too. But you find out at the end of the day, for as big of a legend you are or how great you've done, but once you say you're gone, they turn on you like vicious coyotes ready to just rip you to shreds. And it's got to be the hardest thing. And I could feel that in all of his comments. Like I didn't want this to happen. I tried my best to coach these guys. The players wanted me to coach them. They told me they want coach. We want you to coach us through. They understand the gig. They got the player portal. They understand. Which, by the way, they wanted him out of there. They didn't want him to coach for two reasons. One, they didn't want it to be a preview for his LSU gig, which I kind of get, but they were afraid he's going to pull players. Well, it's going to happen anyway. I can tell you, there's going to be a handful of players from Ole Miss that's going to jump ship and go to LSU. You can just about bank on that. That will happen. But anyway, whether he has a sports or not, this agonizing decision, where he's like, I don't know, I'm praying about it. And he felt like that in prayer, his answer was to take the next step. Some people would say, well, you took the money or you took this or whatever. There's always that allure when somebody comes at you and says, we want you. Now, I would even bring this back down to the church. And I remember there was a guy in our area who he ended up coming back. He was in a big church up in Tennessee, and he had an opportunity. There was a church that came after him out of Alabama, and they wanted him to be their pastor. And boy, it was an agonizing decision for him. He loved the church there. He prayed about it. He really felt like he should go. He had his final sermon. I heard it was excellent, excellent. How he prepared his church, and what he told them is, if you leave, and now this is ministry different than sports. He said, but if you leave this church and follow me to Alabama, we haven't built anything here because it wouldn't be built on the right things. He said, I don't follow a preacher, follow Jesus. And I loved it. It was a great message. He went. I'm sure it hurt him. This guy had been there for a long time. He served for many years down there, and he eventually came back. Things happen like that. But I remember, I just felt for Lane Kiffin as he was trying to. It's like he was trying to stop the snowball from going down the hill, and it ran over him. And he's even recently said it's very hard. It's very hard. So his heart is really probably split right down the middle. He's got all these the life there. He's family time there. All the associates, the neighbors, the friends, the players, you name it. All the things that go on with that. And then he has this new group that's going, hey, we are so happy to have you. Let's go. Let's rock. It's exciting. It's the best of times and the worst of times. It is a very hard thing. I've never went through that. But I have had to make decisions before that were difficult. And when you find out, sometimes you think people are closer to you than they are. And it's like once that division starts, and even probably you could even say in my situation here, that's hard. It's very hard. It's not it's very emotional, and it's just not easy. No matter what the situation is or what's going on, it's just not easy. It isn't for me anyway. I just related to that. But Lane Kiffin goes to LSU, a big move. Other jobs are being filled. Most of them are filled now. There's a couple out there. I hear that Stoops may be fired in Kentucky. I don't know if he's already gone. I think they're targeting already a coach that they want. So a lot happened with that. But there was a lot of NFL games, a lot of college games, and there's another game tonight on Monday Night Football. So playoffs are getting ready closer in the pros, and the playoffs are getting closer in college. I even watched a little NBA last night. Had a good time watching the Hawks and Sixers, but just it was really there wasn't much on, so I watched that. But anyway, it was some of the news over the weekend for sports was pretty interesting. The drama of that I really did watch and read a lot of information, and it was very difficult. Moving on into the political world. And I'm going to be covering more about this. Probably, I did get to do the news show last night, but we're going to be doing a nightly show This week, schedules be switching around a little bit. Most of the same shows I have. I'm going to be changing the names of a couple, but we'll be on every day, just like we have been, unless family situations or I'm sick or something. Every day we air here, every day live, at least one show, if not three or four. So, but there'll be some changes and to some, and most of the same. But there are some new shows coming as well, and but we'll always do news. But I'm going to incorporate some of the news into some nightly stuff. But I want to dive in a little bit more. But on a couple of fronts for the president. Well, first of all, pray for the the tragedy that happened as we was getting into their Thanksgiving holiday with the National Guard's troops. Of course, one is deceased, one is fighting for his life, and this animal that honestly, can we just have a quick trial? Can we just have a quick trial and settle justice really quickly? We don't need a lot of time here. It's war. They're committing war on our land here, and I have no problem with him getting his due process. But as soon as that trial's over, let's execute judgment upon this person. I'm not going to say their name; they don't deserve it. And thank goodness for those that responded. But my heart goes out to those families and how affected they are, and how the others that are serving. I'm absolutely grateful they sent more troops in. I hope they will continue to do that. And can we please get plane loads of them to go to Dearborn, Michigan? I want to. They need to be just a lot of plane loads of troops there, National Guard, whatever. And let's get this thing cleaned up. But we've got that going on, which is horrible. We find out all these ridiculous. We knew that there was problems with how these people are coming in by the plane loads. There was no vetting per se. They wanted to say they were fully vetted. Then they want to claim mental illness. Come on, this person. We know what's going on here, but General Flynn. If you follow General Flynn, and I like listening to him, he believes that terror cells have been given the go, like plants that are in the country. That we're going to see more and more of this. I wouldn't be a bit surprised at that, and I would say he's probably right that these terror cells are being now the go button is going at some level anyway. And he believed that, and he has a lot of connections that I don't even have, but I can read the tea leaves and see that. So I would say very, very real possibility that those terror cells have been released in the nation. And on the another area is the buildup around Venezuela, and the ultimatum from the president to Maduro is if you want to live, basically, you and your families, you better get out and get out now. And they wanted all these assurances that they won't be prosecuted internationally and all this stuff, and they were wanting, they were asking for a lot of stuff, and he said, "Here, a watchman." We need to vet. Absolutely, I agree. People that are in America chanting "Death to America." I'll be clear on this. Now, I know that we call some people have misunderstood. I think a couple of times what I've said on the show. Sometimes I just play, but sometimes I'll play both sides of an argument just to extend it, and sometimes that's made people mad. I always tell people we're probably more alike than you realize, but I would say that the if you the protest has nothing to do with you're in the streets saying you're going to destroy this country. I believe myself. If you're free speech only goes so far. You can't yell fire in a crowded theater and all that. We understand that. And I don't think you can be calling for death to America and pulling swords out and talking whack people's heads off or whatever. You can lose your citizenship if you are a citizen. If you're not a citizen, you don't need to be here anyway. If you're in the streets and you're promoting violence towards America by threat or doing it, you're out. You are out. It's if we we may just put you in prison, or we may execute justice upon you, like this animal that shot the National Guard. They needs to be dead, 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 dead. I mean, we got video, we got all the information we need. Let's give a quick trial and execute justice. So let's send a message. But I know how we'll do. We'll drag this thing out forever, but maybe not as long as we have in the past. But if we can get some of that under a military rule, it won't take long at all. but we've definitely got, elements, and you're right, Watchman, the CIA, the stuff that they've done, but it is horrible. I see, Ernest Dempsey. The unsullied truth is that you need to not only deport people but also get rid of CIA. Yes, because every terror network ultimately goes to them, including this Afghan scumbag, and I wholeheartedly agree with that. They've got to clean house here. They've got to get a hold of this, and they've got it. We've got to do. We need to put a lot of resources there. This is the potential to hurt a lot of people, not just one or two. It's going to start hurting the masses. We don't know what we've got within our own country, and there are millions of people that probably needs to be put on planes out of here. Excuse me, and this needs to be for America first. Job one right now. You got to hold the economy together. But this is part of our national. Protecting the American population, protecting our shores, our borders, our land, our people, our buildings, our whatever it is, ships, all of it. This goes to that, and so we have to put this at the top of the ladder. It has to be. I've always been that way. But he's got Venezuela. He's told Maduro, you're out, bud. We're gonna get out. We're gonna start hitting the labs. They said there's gonna be no ground invasion, but he's put a force down there. One of the biggest forces ever been down there, especially in decades. And they're already doing some special ops stuff down in Venezuela. And I'd say this thing's fixing to go green light. You're fixing to see some bombs go off massively over certain areas of Venezuela. They've already shut the airspace down. And by the way, what about the mysterious? All of a sudden, we now have a software glitch that is shutting down a lot of airplanes in America and around the world, but flights of certain planes are trying to go into a full. They have to update the software. It takes 2 to 4 hours per plane. Per plane, they say the plane could just shut off. And I have read a little bit about it. I've listened to some people, and I know some of it is. I think the fear is that somebody can manipulate that. This ain't just something where all of a sudden, oh, we got a glitch. No, I think this is also this is cyber warfare. Let's be honest. This is not just all of a sudden they discovered in these big planes. We've got a little bit of a problem. There could be a possibility that you could get an error message, like we get with software. Like no. This is probably another way that we're being terrorized. And they have found a glitch in, well, not glitch, but a way in. They have been able to get into that software, and they could shut that. I think they could just shut the plane down and crash it. So you can tell by the speed at which they're doing this, and right here in the holidays, this ain't some little deal. This is a major deal, and this is the ongoing threat that America has. Absolutely, that America has, and we need. We definitely need. We need a lot of attention put on this stuff here. But we got Maduro going on, and then I want to swing around just briefly. Again, we'll talk more about this tonight and ongoing. Is let's I think a couple things here. One is Zelensky is being forced into a deal. They're tired of dealing with this butthole. Trying to watch my words. They come after his basically his second in command. They raided his home and his offices. This guy flees to the front, and he acts like he's some hero going to the front. I'm going to the front. No, he's hiding out. He got somebody to let him in. He's hiding from investigators and all that. And many believe that this guy this is the guy. This I can't Yuri or whatever his name is. This is the guy that was going out. He was forcing people off the streets and throwing them on the front lines. This guy, Zelensky's no better. But they went after this guy, and that was the message to Zelensky: is you make a deal, and it's just done. The front line is crumbling. They can't hold on much longer, and they're just going to pour some more support into this, and they just want to get a deal and get a deal done quick, and get this thing stopped, and try to come out of the way with Putin can claim victory. Maybe Zelensky can even claim victory in some way, because after all, there is victory to be claimed on both sides. Putin can claim victory and that he got this land back that was part of the motherland. um, that he beat the Nazis, he can claim victory there. And he's going to get a heck of a lot of money. The money part is a big deal. It's come back to that in a second. Zelensky can claim credit that he didn't lose the whole country. I mean, but he's going to lose. There's no way Zelensky can win here ultimately because once they crumble this network he's got anyway, he's already broken the law there. Everybody knows it. He was supposed to send this thing to elections and he didn't send it to elections. He put it off. He's basically a de facto dictator. Uh, but he's got people that have kind of guarded him, and this Yuri guy is one of them. And there are other. They're really taking some of those pieces and they're removing them, and they're showing that this guy that you better make a deal and you better make it quick. I think bad things can happen for him, and I think there's a lot of pressure. They wanted it by Thanksgiving. That didn't happen, but I would say within the next week or so, max, you're going to see something major happen on this between Russia and Ukraine. I think the president it's a full court press, and he's going to get. If you listen to Glenn Beck at all, he had a nice little clip I watched the other day where he talked about they're boxing in China, they're making deals, kind of pulling Russia back into the fold. Everybody gets some money out of the deal, even the Ukrainians. Everybody's going to make money. America's going to, they'll be able to money for rebuilding the country. So everybody gets a piece of victory here and try to move on because it's just uglier and uglier. And there's just still thousands and thousands of men dying on the front. But this guy's acting like he's a hero, runs to the front. He's not doing anything. He has no role. He's basically hiding in a bunker, being protected so they can't interrogate him over the corruption that he's done. So these American tax dollars that have went into the country, we know it's a lot of it's been stolen. I mean, they didn't use this stuff to do what they were supposed to do. We've propped up the government for forever. We've paid the pensions for these people. We've paid their salaries. We've paid the electricity bills. All this has been money that's come from America. Well, the tap's been cut off. The president is cutting off and has been cutting off that tap, and now he's ready to cut off the rest. Unless there's a deal done, and then they'll work on what it looks like going forward. But Zelensky doesn't want to agree to give away any land. He wants, but dude, you lost. I mean, you can't get it back. Watchman says Department of Homeland Security was revealed to be run out of Israel when on X started showing the country of origin for X accounts. Lots of pro-American X files were from India and Israel. And listen, I think I've made it clear where I stand. I'm not. I don't hate Jewish people. I love Jewish people. I don't like always what the Israeli government does, and there's ugly there too, and that's continued. Bibi Netanyahu, by the way, has appealed to the president, which is Herzog, for a pardon, saying that he's having to testify 2 or 3 days a week during this war, and normally that doesn't happen until you admit, like, I'm guilty of something, or you're found guilty. But he has made this appeal to the president because their countries run a little different. The president doesn't run the country, but he does have some duties and stuff. But the prime minister has appealed to Herzog for this pardon, which would close the corruption case on him. And I've watched that nominally. I don't know to the extent of the corruption or whatever, but that has still been hanging over his head during all of this. Those things are still going on. And let me let Jerry know. And let him know. I said the wrong thing, Jerry. Oh, now. But he comes in by phone. By the way, pray for Brother Jerry. His wife said he's back at Emory, and he needs your prayers, so pray for him. Yes, definitely has happened. They have. I've heard Miami and different places. Listen, it's all a farce. I mean, listen, I don't agree that Russia invaded them, and I've always said that the taking of the children is Putin deserves to be in jail somewhere. for that, and there's a lot of ugly with that. But one thing you can say when you go to war, whether you're attacked or you attack somebody, what you win or lose is the deal. They always give America a heck about some things that we did, like all these people that cry that we should give back all of Texas and parts of Southern California and da 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 da. My answer to that is, are you crazy? We're not giving back anything. Uh, we took that land in battle. My Marine friend, one of my Marine friends, I have several. One of them, I like what he says. He says, anywhere that American blood has been spilled, it should be American land. Fly the flag. We ain't giving back nothing. And all these people that cry and say, you got to give that back. You took that and that was theirs. And now it's not really yours. It's theirs. Yeah, it's ours because we took it. We were attacked. We pushed it back. We could have took more, but we took that. It's not going back. And all these stupid politicians, and they are stupid, and they're in America. They're America politicians. They have said that they have started trying to submit bills to give back parts of like Southern California to Mexico. Are you crazy? We're not giving it back. Get over yourself. It's like reparations and all these pipe dreams that people have that continue to beat the drums of. It's our money. We need it. We're gonna get it. We're gonna get our land back. No, you're not. You're not getting any of that. Now, are there lunatics within our country that would do something like that? Sure, they're stupid and they hate America, but we're not going to do it. And, it's ridiculous. It is absolutely ridiculous that they would say something like that, and it just blows my mind that anybody would take those things serious. But people are people. But some things that people don't recognize is that uh, there are realities to things. There's just realities to things. When somebody says, Europeans, conquered, they trampled over the world, and uh, but anyway, let me give Jerry this. I don't think he has the podcast. I've got to switch him back over. So, pardon me, just a second. Let me see if I can put this in there and help him out. Bless his heart, he's in the hospital, and he's trying to watch, but he's on Messenger and not there. There we go. Now he sees me, or he will. He's got the link, and we'll get Jerry in here. He may pop in and say hey before we get off, but they always say, well, America, you Europeans came in, you've taken the land, and okay, whatever happened has happened. That's history, and that is why. That's what the lunatic numbskulls that are mostly on the left, but there are some others out there, I'm sure, but mostly on the left, who say we spend too much money on national defense. We spend too much money on military. We have all these weapons. And why do we have? We just need peace in the world. Let's just have peace. We'll get along with everybody and it'll all be fine. Are you nutsos? There's people out here hate us. Most of the world hates us. Let's just admit it. Most of the world hates us. Most of the world hates us. If they don't hate us, they're jealous of us. And all of them would be like ravaging wolves coming in to scoop up the remnants of what's left if we laid down our defense. They would roll over us like a bunch of ants to honey. And you got to have a strong defense. You got to hit your enemy right in the face. And you got to let him know if you try anything with us, you are dead. You are done. And we have had some weak-kneed people that have ran the country before who stupidly reduced our military. I mean, President Clinton, Mr. Cigar himself, he collapsed the naval surface ship levels to more than some countries have. He lowered that. President Trump, that's what he said, shipbuilding. A lot of people thought that President Trump was just talking about, cruise ships. Oh, we're going to build some cruise ships. No, he's talking about building up the military, getting the Navy back to a level that it needs to be. I can tell you, China's never slowed down. China's been building. They're now building aircraft carriers, and they were starting to get ahead of us in some things. Some of the countries have been ahead of us in submarines. the number of submarines that are had, and we have to keep all that at the forefront. And it takes a lot of money. It sure does. But we have got to do that. We have got to, you know, put that first. And national defense has to be a high priority. It is one of the main functions of government is to protect your country, and we have to have enough, resources out there. We have to have the ability to punch anybody in the face as many times as needed to make them think 150 times before they ever think they're going to attack us. And that's just the way it is. And if you lost, say you lost, I don't know, three quarters of, let's say you lost 5 states. If you allow that to happen, pardon me, if you allow that to happen, they're not giving it back. You have to take it back, and that's this. Everybody gets a trophy mentality. Oh well, let's make sure everybody has something. No, we have what we have. We're not giving any of it back. Get over yourself. You can go cry in a corner. I don't care. We have places all around the world that we fly the flag from that we basically control. And there should be more, to be honest. There should be more. But we are not giving it back. And we're not giving back one bit of America to anybody. Russia, you can free that. You're not getting Alaska back. You know what? And that was a deal. That was a financial deal. That wasn't even anything, where we took it. But we own it. We got it. It's ours. We fly the American flag over it, and y'all can go kick rocks. I don't care. And all the people in America that want to take us down, as I said at the beginning, citizenship comes with responsibility, and citizenship here means that you cannot commit treason against your country, and you cannot preach death to America. And if that is your message, my opinion is you can lose your citizenship. You can be sent elsewhere. You cannot turn on your own country. You just cannot do that. And we cannot allow that to happen. And we've let too much happen already. And listen, any nation out there, that's an America thing, but any nation out there would be stupid to let those kind of things happen. And Europe, my gosh, Europe is in so much trouble. And yet they want to preach and dictate to the rest of the world how it is. They've lost their countries already. They're already running scared. They have lost control of their country. Did you see the protest? They call them protests that happened in Germany. 20 was it 25 or 30,000 people came out in force. They were just out there singing songs and holding up banners and marching back and forth. No, this was a violent force that had to be met with violence. Germany's learned the hard way. France is learning the hard way that the things that they let happen in their country, the people that they let in, they have turned their countries into hellholes. They have violence off the scale. They can't hardly hold on to they're in danger here. They are in massive danger. These countries' leadership can fall. There is enough force within the country to cause that kind of problem. Well, how many people we have here in America? How many people do we have here in this country? It totals in the millions that hate America. It's not a small number. It's a huge number. And we've Trojan horsed them basically right on in here through the front door even and said, here you go, here's you some benefits. And what really ticks me off, this animal, I will never say his name, may burn in hell. I know, you listen, you're an animal. You hate people and you kill. But, just destroy lives. We gave him a $2,000 a month apartment. I think the taxpayers are paying for that, and found him a little job to do at a company. I'm not going to name that company, but as a contracted employer, whatever it was, and so we were paying the bills for that. That we're going to set you up with an apartment. Well, I know a lot of people that are struggling that are Americans, American citizens who are struggling to stay within a living arrangement right now, that are working. American dollars have been, by the billions of dollars, even trillions maybe, have been sent around the world or used for stuff like that. And these people are preaching death to America. I know people that love America that have been always, until, their ancestors came, have always been here. And these people are struggling every day working hard. They're struggling to find enough money for food. They forget Christmas and all that. They don't have the money for that. Their thankfulness is that they have a warm place to lay their head and food in their belly. And these people, and we're bringing animals like this into the country and giving them an apartment and whatever of the benefits that go to that, and we're giving all that to them, and then look at the actions that we get. I'm not saying that every single person would do that, but we need a vetting of this, and we need a thorough accounting of how they get. And the last thing I'll say this morning, yes, you're right, Watchman. It is by design. It is definitely want. Yeah, I agree with you. It is definitely a design to destroy the country. And the last thing I'll mention this morning, because I do got to go. I got to go to work, take kids to school, and all that. Uh, I feel like the morning show should be 2 hours, but anyway, especially this week. But I applaud the president for going to roll back everything that was signed in the auto pen. I fully applaud that. And I will guarantee you there are some people that are running scared right now because there's some protections there because that pen was used to sign something. He never signed crap, except what you saw him sign on TV. He didn't even know what he was signing half the time on TV. But all that stuff, I applaud that. And I would say, lastly, better pray for the president because this thing's getting uglier and uglier. And I also throw in, there's rumors this morning. Well, it wasn't just this morning, but there's rumors this morning that he's going to fire Cash Patel and Daddy Bonbons, as Broski's called him. I will. The word that there's a report, and I was going to download it from Scrib last night, but you got to pay a little money. I'm going to have to set up all that up today. But there's been a report that's been sent to the House Judiciary Committee about the current state of the FBI. And it is not very positive at all about Cash Patel and Dan Bongino. It is not. This was a report that's going to Senator Grassley. It's my understanding it already has been sent to him. It is online, and you can go read it. You can read it for free. If you go to the New York Post, there's an article. You can see it in there, and they give the article. Basically, a couple of things that they've said in this article or in this report is that Patel is in over his head. He doesn't know what he's doing. They gave him some credit for some things that they thought he did well, but both him and Bongino, the two major things about them is it's a clown show, and that and we sort of picked up on this as Americans, did we not? Did we not call this? We said they talk a lot, they get on TV a lot, they don't give you nothing, they promise stuff. He's still doing that. Nothing happens. It's like an empty room. It's like an echo chamber. Like what just happened? I mean, nothing happens. But that they're over their head. They don't know what they're doing. They're on social media all the time, and that they're building their resume to make themselves look good. This is the report that's been designed to give to the House Senate Judiciary Committee. Senator Grassley is over and said, these guys are a joke, basically, and you need to get rid of them. And so there's a lot of rumors that he's going to be fired. Some people are denying it, but I think there's probably validity to this. I've always thought this guy was on borrowed time. And, Danny can go back to doing a podcast or something, but it's just not work. It's not work. Let's see. Cash needs to be fired. He's using FBI lawyers to attack Americans like Elijah Schaffer, who was forced to leave U.S. because of Cash. But it doesn't look good. But there he was again. Was he out on TV saying, everything's going to be revealed? The burn bags, all this stuff is going to be revealed. We're going to share it all. It's all going to happen. They have said this from the beginning. And I kept getting people telling me, Dave, it takes time. We've got to build the case. And listen, I'm not stupid. I understand about how those things work. But with President Trump, you can move some things into overdrive. And I think that's what he wanted. I'm pretty sure that's what he wanted. And we're still waiting on much of the stuff that was talked about under this. Where was some of the house cleaning that was supposed to happen at the FBI as well? But it's not a good report. It's a very bad report about what's going on there. And it looks like the president may be getting ready to make a change. Hey, it's been great. Happy Monday. December 1st. Have a great day. We'll be back on this evening. I'll be doing tonight. We have a special show. It'll probably just be called, Cornbread Man and the Neils or something. I don't know. I didn't put it under the guise of anything, but we're going to talk ministry tonight, and there'll be a not talk show tonight. Maybe some news. I'll put all that together today. Uh, oh yeah, I heard about that. Tweet a picture. Yeah, I heard about that. Yeah. Hey, y'all have a great day out there. If somebody's live on, we're now being asked to do raids and stuff with the program. So as the music's played, it may go to a raid. If you don't want to do that, you can opt out. It'll pop up on the screen. Yes, yes, you were right, Watchman. So I may do that this morning, so we get credit for that as a content creator program while the music's playing. But hey, it's love you all, appreciate you. And again, have a great Monday. Glad to be back. Sorry I've been off a little bit, brother Jerry. If you're out there able to tune in, we're praying for you, buddy. And I hope that you're okay. I saw your wife's post, and I hate that you're back in the hospital, man. I truly do. And hang in there, man. Prayers are on the way. And there are so many people that I've talked to this last few days that are saying, my dad's on hospice, pray for him, or my wife or my kid, or I just lost someone. There's so many people hurting right now. And really pray for them. It's just really, really sad. And we all go through that. It's very tough. And pray for people, because you know what? It'll come to your house one day. And if you've not already experienced it, and have a struggle with your health. And these last few days has been a struggle for me. Not to the level of Brother Jerry, but he's a trooper, man. I mean, what a blessing he is. He's a man. That's a man's man fighting. He's a man of God, and he's a man. And he's fighting hard. And y'all just pray for him. And thank you for on Podbean. My grandpa was a Navy Seabee, and aloha to you as well. And God bless you, and appreciate all of our military veterans. Appreciate all those who have served. My heart goes out to them. And listen, we're going to have our Marine friend on soon. We're going to talk aviation. Man, he's got some stories about landing big helicopters on aircraft carriers and stuff. It's pretty amazing. I learned a lot yesterday, a lot of things I didn't know. I'm totally infatuated by this topic, and it'll all have ministry brought through it as well. And we're putting that together now. I'm hoping within the next week or so we can get something up. But we got to have time to kind of. I told him to pray about it. A man of God should always pray about something. In anything you do. And so I didn't say, let's do it. I said, this is what I'm thinking. This is what I feel like would be good. But you pray about it. I'll pray about it. But Dave is out. The Cornbread Man is out. Have a great day. Yeah, I'm back. I feel like that. We had a guy in this town, Gary Mack, and I'm back. He'd been off the air for a while. Even if it's just a couple, 3 days, that's why I feel like I'm saying, even though I was working behind the scenes and posting things, I feel like I'm the Cornbread Man and I'm back. I really am. I feel like I got my mojo back. Things are going good. I'm happy to be here. I'm excited, and I hope that you're excited with us. New features coming soon. This week also I'm going to be doing, last thing I'll say, a couple things. The Wolf Nation will debut. Our coffees are going to be rebranded the Wolf Nation Coffee. We think it fits. It just seems to make sense. That's your logo back there, the one that says Wolf Nation. There's a logo that have Wolf Nation Coffee. And we're going to have fun with that. This is going to be all things outdoors, talk about hiking, whatever it is outdoors, whatever your adventure is. And we're going to rebrand the coffee. And I got some new stuff in the studio. Some I haven't even tried yet. I can't wait to break it open. And I loaded up. I ordered, oh my goodness, probably close to $100 worth over the last 30 days. And looking forward to breaking into that. So, and also this week, I want to do, it'll be a little bit later in the week. I want to do a little bit of a follow-up on Jonestown, the aftermath. We know what happened at Jonestown. I want to talk about the aftermath. There's a military aspect to that as well. And I want to get into that and talk about that. It's going to be called Hangar 1301. Be looking for that. That'll be popping up. I'll make announcements. But take care. God bless. And we will see you soon. And remember, the wolf knows. He does. Take care. All right. There we go.